As a customer of EstateDocsPro.com's comprehensive software platform, you will have received an email with a unique username and password. You will come to the website, EstateDocsPro.com, here where it says Customer Login. You will click there. You will enter the unique customer username that you've been provided here, followed by the unique password that you've been provided here, and then you would hit Secure Login, and you will be ready to begin the process. Once you enter your username and password, you'll come to this page where you'll see Preparing Your Trust. You'll see the basic information that you'll need to have in order to complete your comprehensive estate plan. However, if you don't have it all handy when you begin, not to fear, you can start and you can always come back and pick it up, and the system will save any information that you've put in at that time. We're going to go here, so it's a matter of follow the yellow brick road, so to speak. We'll go right straight down the tabs. The first one is your information. So at no point in time, as you'll see as we go through this demonstration, will you be asked to write any language. All the language has been created by the attorneys, and it's made a part of this comprehensive database. So all that you will be doing is filling in the blank and answering questions yes or no. We'll quickly show you how that works. So as you can see here, first name, middle name, last name, spouse information, your state that you want to be in. This is a click down menu, so you can select the state, the zip code, legal, county, or equivalent. Obviously, if you have a question as to what that means, you would just click on the blue cloud and it'll give you the county that you are domiciled in so that you have that information. Then we would hit save and continue. And that will then bring us down to the next tab, which is your trust provisions. You can see here in this selection, you'll provide more background information, begin to make selections on how you want to construct your trust. Very straightforward. The trust name, the trust date. Once you decide these, then you are not able to change them. So give it good thought. Typically, people just use their family name. Again, if you have any question, just click on the blue cloud with a question mark and you'll see an answer. The trust date. Typically, people pick a date that they're actually beginning. The key point here with your trust date is it cannot be after the signatures that you'll get or witnesses or the notary. The trust date has to be prior to those decisions being made as far as the questions and the signatures. Family name, equal beneficiary shares, yes or no. Again, just very straightforward. Do you have a prenuptial or postnuptial agreement? Very straightforward. Standard trust or an AB trust. As you can see, we always provide the tutorial here. So if you want a standard trust, but you're not sure what that means, you would click here and you would see your answer. Flexibility versus credit protection and irrevocability. Again, if you're unsure as to what that means, you would click here and you would see the answer. All again, yes or no, straightforward questions. So now we've completed this. We would again hit save and continue, which will take us down to the next tab. Here's where you enter your children. As you can see here, very clear. Do not list any grandchildren or other family members on this page. Only direct children. If you have adopted previous children of your spouse, please select both. So again, you must list all of your children. You would just simply click add here and you'll be able to type in that information. If a child passed away, you would delete them from the system here. You can also go back in. I'll click on Joshua Wise and you can see that I can edit this information at any time because typically information will change. Personal information will change about people. So you're always able to go back in and make those changes. Very straightforward. Distribution options. So this is where you're able to decide how you want your estate distributed to your children at such time as you pass. So you can say, no, I want outright distribution at any age, or yes, I want a joint trust for my children. Here we've got a short video done by one of our attorneys, Mark Kohler. He explains the advantages to having a joint trust for children. Again, this just points out that our software platform is very comprehensive. It's not just a template, so you do have multiple options that you're able to elect to choose. And I think if you watch this video done by Mark Kohler as to the advantages of doing a joint trust for your children, you will see that that is a great way to go. Then once you make that decision, you would click the distribution dates. So we've got here different distribution dates, and you can make those whatever you would want to, beginning certainly first distribution at age 18, legal age, or you could make this age 20 or 25, second age 30, 35, whatever decisions you want to make, you're able to do that here. The following items are options. So this is where you're able to create some optional parameters around the distribution of the estate to your children. So it could be, for instance, early distribution for extracurricular activities, yes or no, or early distribution for matching scholarships, yes or no, educational expenses. But let's say you said yes, but you want to set a minimum GPA standard here. So that means that your successor trustee would monitor that child of yours to make sure that they are hitting that minimum GPA that you've set. Early distribution for health and medical needs here, yes or no. Withhold distribution for drug alcohol addiction, yes or no, or yes, do not distribute until clean. Wedding expenses, and then you can set the amount that you would want distributed. First home purchase, again, you can set the amount. Early distribution for a business startup, yes or no. And then for those individuals that would go on a church mission, yes or no. Again, hit save and continue, and you'll be good to go. The next tab is roles. Here, all we're doing basically is being educated on the roles that you're going to be naming people to. This doesn't mean that you have separate individuals for each one of these roles. They could, many of them, be the same person, but at least gives you an idea as to what these titles mean so that you can make that decision that best suits your needs and your desires. Very, very important that you understand the difference between the trustee, successor trustee, your healthcare agent, financial agent, guardian, etc. Continuing down the tabs, add people and organizations. Here all we're doing is we're populating our database. So we're going to add individuals, we're going to add companies, organizations, or groups, or children. And these would be people that will be named either as beneficiaries, successor trustees, alternate trustees, people that you're going to bequest certain gifts to, whether they be individuals or groups or charity organizations or whatever. Again, all you're doing is populating your database. So I could click on any one of these, as you can see, and I can edit that at any time going forward, as particular information will have a tendency to change. So back here, if I wanted to eliminate someone from the database, all I would do is click delete, and I would be able to do that. Beneficiary selection. Here we add our beneficiaries. Again, I can click on each one and I can edit that information, or I can click here. I could delete them. As you can see, you can add contingency beneficiaries. You can add beneficiaries. If for whatever reason you made a mistake with any of the shares that you're giving to someone, then this is going to point out that you've made a mistake. I'll demonstrate this for you quickly. So I've named 40%. So I'm going to make this 35%. And then I'm going to see right here that I've got an error. Total shares must equal 100%. So I've got to go back up. I'll change that back to the 40. And then I can add contingent beneficiaries here if I so choose. Once again, I can delete. Now I can hit save and continue. And as you can see again, now I'm correct. I've got a total of 100% there. So now I've added my beneficiaries. So now I'm going to disinherit. So this would be my children that for whatever reason I'm estranged from. So I'm able to add the children here, and I could delete them at any time that I would need to do that. Trustee selection. Here, once again, we're just making people choices. So I'll click the drop-down menu and you can see all these individuals. So if there's someone that I would want to name as an alternate successor trustee, and I don't see that name here, that's telling me that I need to go back up here to add people and organizations and add that name in. Again, at this tab, all you're doing is populating your database, which will become a part of your drop-down options as you go down through the tabs. Beneficiary selection again here, the disinherit trustee selection. Again, all I'm doing is selecting someone from the drop-down menu. Financial agent. So I've got my financial agent here. I've got an alternate here, and even a second one here. And again, if I don't see the name of the individual organization here, that means I need to go back up and add them here. Once you add them here, they're in the database, and they will always drop down. Healthcare agent. Same thing, drop down, make the selection, advanced directives. So this essentially means, do I want to have the plug pulled or not pull the plug? So what we've offered is an option that if you do want the plug pulled, but you want it done under certain circumstances, for instance, you want to refuse all artificial methods of prolonging life, but you do not want to specify the following treatment. So I request resuscitation and life support, I refuse it, or pain management, I request pain management because I don't want to suffer. Advanced directives, in the case of a female, that pregnancy may come into play. This is where I'm able to make that choice here. Organ donation, it's not mandatory, but for those people that would like to consider organ donation, they're able to do so here. It's very comprehensive, so you've got, you can even name specific organs to individuals or organizations, whatever the purpose that you may choose. Guardian selection, in the event of your children, minor children, certainly you need to do this, or if it's an adult disabled child, you would need to do this. If you do not name your guardian for your children, minor children, or adult disabled children, then it will require a decision from a probate court. So to stay away from probate court, you have the opportunity here to name the guardians. Specify bequest. This is where you make an inventory of anything and everything that you've got that you would want to go to someone or some organization. Just make an inventory of it, take pictures of it, take videos of it, and then just come in and add it. So all you're doing is add bequest here and fill in the blanks. And as you can see, I've got a list here where there's information that may come into question, like family silverware. Well, I may not understand exactly what that means. So this is another opportunity for you to take a picture of it, and you can upload the picture into your vault so that it's there. This way it leaves no question as to what it is that you're specifying and who you want it to go to. Other options. So this is where you're adding final thoughts. This is not a contract. This is not a part of your trust. These are just final thoughts that you would like to leave behind as suggestions to your family as to how you might want things handled. And then we go to the review. So as we can see here, we've gone down through every one of the tabs, and it's letting me know that I've completed every one. Everything has been done correctly. It's letting me know here, adult disabled guardian, that I've named guardians for adult disabled children, but none of your children are designated as adult disabled. So again, I would need to go back up and I would need to make that change. This is a check and balance part of our system to make sure that you've done everything correctly. So let's assume that I have now done everything correctly and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to hit here, review. And there you have it. The family trust as I just created by going down through the tabs and answering all of the questions. Now that you've completed your interview, you see within seconds, because of the power of the software, you have a visual of your comprehensive estate plan for your family. The welcome here, the interview, review, which you've already completed the interview, so we can go right straight into each one of the tabs for each one of the documents. So you've got your revocable living trust. Here we've got information about your trust. All this information has been created as a result of how you answered the questions during the interview. The first thing you want to do is you want to hit generate document. So now what the system is doing is taking the information that you have entered during the interview process. It's processing that through the software platform. Takes this just a few seconds. And then once the process and request has been completed, you'll see document has been generated. So we'll click OK. And as you can see now, it will update the system to show the latest document. So this was done on Monday, November the 28th, 2016 at 1:40 p.m. I could delete this if I so choose. I just generated it, so now it means I'm good to go. If I went in and I edited it, then I would need to generate again. So if I have downloaded this document and I've gotten signatures, then I would upload here, which is the same way that you would upload any document onto a web-based platform straight off of the hard drive of your computer. So now I can actually go in and I can review my trust. So I can save it, download it, and save it. In this case, I'm just going to open it. So here we go. As you can see now, estate plan portfolio, revocable living trust, the date, most recent date where we generated the document. Every page is time and dated, and then your table of contents. So I can literally go in here and I can click on any one of these articles and I can read the information about that particular subject matter as it was handled based on the way I answered the questions during the interview. We make it very clear where you need signatures so that you don't have to be flipping through the documents to find those, or your notaries or your witnesses. You just simply click on the particular document. It brings it right up. So obviously I'm going to need to download and print this document because I am going to need to get some signatures and a witness here. As you can see, we've made it just like going to an attorney where they show you by way of the little yellow sticky notes so that there's no mistake as to where you need to get signatures. Again, you download all pages that require signatures, notaries, and witnesses. For that matter, you will download all of your documents so that you have a hard copy in addition to the copy that you will keep in your electronic vault. So this would be your revocable living trust. Same thing applies for your certificate of trust. Again, we're going to hit generate document, so it will change the date to today's date. So I'll just do that, just show you how it works. Again, it's processing the request. Takes it just a few seconds to do this. And once it's done, it's letting me know the document has been generated. And so now it's been updated. As you can see again, November the 28th, 2016 at 1:43 p.m. If I want to look at that certificate of trust, I would just click here and it would take me into it. Last will and testament. This is your pour over will. This is not like a traditional last will and testament that is only a wish document that would still be subject to probate court. The greatest benefit of having a revocable living trust is it enables you to bypass all probate court proceedings. So any items that you have failed to put into your trust, it would be directed by way of your pour over will as to how you would want those assets distributed. Financial power of attorney. Again, I would hit generate document here to make it the most current one. Healthcare power of attorney. We recall during our interview process, you were asked who you wanted these individuals to be. You clicked the drop down option and you made those selections at that time. Another great benefit of our software platform is that as your life goes forward and you see need or have a desire to change, make different decisions, you're able to come back into the system and do that. Living will and advanced directives. Here you go. So this is pull the plug, don't pull the plug. And then your funding kit. A very, very, very critical part of your revocable living trust is your funding kit. Traditionally, if you went to a law firm and you spend thousands of dollars to get a revocable living trust, you still have to fund it. Very few attorneys that do that. Those that do will charge you extra for it. Typically, you'll be given information that gives you directions on how to do it. It's not often that easy to follow. So what we've done with our funding kit, which is very unique and proprietary to Estate Docs Pro, is we've made it very simple for you to be able to make sure that your trust is funded. So you've got two types of assets, your real property and everything else. So any title property, which would be your real estate, you'd click on here, and then there's a full tutorial as to why it's so important to put your home, whether they be in one state or multiple states, into your revocable living trust. If you fail to put a property in the trust that would be located in a different state than where you live, then that property would be subject to probate in that particular state. So it's very important to put all of your properties into your revocable living trust. It's very simple. You click on Ledger and you add the particular information here. Again, you're not being asked to write any language. All you're doing is filling in the blank. And then when you do that, you hit Save and Add Asset, and it would be added to this asset that I've got here. Then you would simply file a warranty or quitclaim deed in the county where that property is located. And this way, through the county recorder's office, you're putting the public on notice that you have now put that property into the name of your family trust. So now that I've gone in, I've added all my properties. So if I sold a property in the future, I would be able to come in and I'd be able to take it out. I would just simply delete it here. If I purchase something new, I would simply add and delete as I go forward. So now I've added all my property. So we're going to go back to our funding kit and we're going to go to all other assets. Very important to take a few minutes and read through this. We've got a very comprehensive tutorial. Explains it in great detail, but yet it's very simple. Guidelines for funding your trust. So you just go down through each one of the tabs. Take your time. This is very, very important, but yet it's very simple. All you got to do is take your time and read through it. Now you've got all different types of assets that you might have, beginning with cash accounts. So again, all we're going to do is click down through the tabs. Again, we've got a full tutorial here. Beneficiary designations, certificates of deposit, credit unions, safety deposit boxes, you name it, and you have the opportunity to list it in here. If I closed an account, I would simply hit delete. If I'm adding new accounts, I would simply come in here and I would add it, hit save and add assets, and it would be added to the top. Where you need asset retitlement letters, you would just click here, and based on the information that you've put into here, there will be a letter generated through the system addressed to that particular account, to the holder of that account, putting them on notice that you now want that name on the account to be your family trust. Very simple. Vehicles, where you've got vehicles, all 50 states, linked to all 50 state DMV offices, you're able to put the vehicles into the name of your trust as well. Liability and casualty insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, employer provided insurance. Again, we always provide a tutorial, so there's no question. Retirement plans, IRAs, again, full tutorial. Do not change the ownership or assign qualified retirement plans or KEO plans or IRAs to your trust. Retitling the ownership of this type of account may cause the entire account to become immediately taxable and subject to penalties. So we give you a heads up as to how to make the right decisions. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, business interests. So let's say you have some interest in private business. You may be a partner in an LLC. You may own stock in a private C Corp. Whatever the case may be, all the information is here that you need. You would just simply come in here and add that business interest. So let's say that you own 50% of an LLC, that you're a member of an LLC. You'd put the name of the business here, the address, the business type, and owned by who, estimated value, and what percentage. So in this case, I'm saying that I own 50% of that LLC, so that's what I would put in there. If people owed me money, so I've got IOUs, I would be able to populate those in here. So who's the debtor type, the debtor's address, owned by, the date of the notes, and any other notes that I would want into this IOU area of my funding kit. Intellectual property rights, let's say you own some patents, mineral rights, foreign assets, personal property. This is anything that would be non-titled that you would want to name into your trust. And in the event, in all these 18 line item tabs that we may have left off something, we've given you another one called Other Assets, and you would simply type in the information here under Add an Other Asset, save, and it will be added to the system. So now what you've done is you have completed your interview. You've got all of your documents. You've been able to download, save, and print your all of your documents. You've been able to secure your witnesses, your notaries, all signatures as required, and then you can scan those into your computer and upload them into your eVault, which you see here. So now this is where I've got an electronic vault of all of my documents. You'll recall I mentioned that you may want to take pictures or videos of various assets to make sure that everyone understands specifically what you're talking about. Then they would be a part of your document vault as well. If you have other important documents that you would want to scan into your computer and upload into your vault, you would certainly be able to do that. So now I can come into my vault and I can look at any one of these items and I can open it and I can see the date that they were created here, or if I've deleted it, I could do that here. So at this point, you've now completed your interview. You've gotten all of your signatures, notaries, and witnesses. You have funded your trust, both real property as well as all other assets. Congratulations, You now have a comprehensive estate plan from Estate Docs Pro, complete from A to Z.